Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the finest thing to hit the internet since Rebecca Black. It's the Bungalow Bali Show.
You're the master, Bovan.
I am your fetching announcer, Bovan Fingerman, and my new line of unfiltered organic clam water is finally for sale on the dark web. It's great for inflammation.
Yeah, not to mention Vibrio.
Now please welcome our special guests. They might be brother and sister, but I still believe they're living in sin. It's Shania and Mark Twain.
Blow me, Bovan.
Creepy-ass Doc Brown-looking motherfucker.
And now, meet our humble host. He's less fuckable than Mason Verger from the Hannibal movie. It's Bong Shot Bobby.
This place smells like an unwiped ass.
Okay, shut up. Shut up. The year is 1995, and we're coming off the heels of Spielberg's 1993 masterpiece, Jurassic Park. Now, unless you're fucking stupid, you already know that the concept for the original Jurassic Park came from a novel written by Michael Crichton. And he also had a hand in the screenplay for 1996's Twister. We reviewed that one in the last episode. Not one of you asswipes watched it. Anyway, my sweets, at this point in time, studios were butt hungry for another hot sci-fi commodity that would make them that sweet, sweet Jurassic Park cheddar. So Kathleen Kennedy and Paramount lined up director Frank Marshall and dove a little deeper into Michael Crichton's repertoire. They dredged up Congo, a novel from 1980.
Plenty of actors were considered for the main roles, but eventually we ended up with Laura Linney as Dr. Karen Ross.
Dylan Walsh as Peter Elliott.
Big Ernie Hudson as Captain Monroe Kelly.
And Tim Curry as Herkimer Homolka.
Oh, and Amy the Gorilla, who also appears in movies like Gorillas in the Mist and Trading Places.
Wow, nice research there, Barry boy. You really checked your sources on that one.
Who do you think you are, Barry? Sloppy Joe Rogan?
Sorry, Bovan, I'm a real man, and real men are doped up on pure sadness and self-loathing, rather than all that CTE, TRT, HGH, bunch of shit I can't pronounce.
Sucker.
Anyway, all the apes were created by Stan Winston and his team.
Okay, so Corpo Karen is a good gorilla who needs to go to the Congo to hunt down an invaluable diamond for her evil corpo oligarch boss, the redneck cop from Cape Fear.
Gee golly gosh, I sure am sorry I offended you, you white trash piece of shit.
Dr. Karen doesn't care about the diamond, but she is concerned about her ex-fiancé Bruce Campbell, who has suffered a mysterious attack. Now, evil corpo boss guy who runs Travacom needs the diamond so he can dominate the 1990s communication industry.
We can dominate the communications industry overnight.
Whoa, whoa, hold up there. Bro, you look like Eugene Heavy.
Okay, that's an obvious joke.
Brr, smart-ass son of a bitch.
You neglected to mention that Bruce Campbell is supposed to be the evil corpo guy's son, yet all he cares about are the diamonds.
Yeah, why is he so obsessed with these stinking diamonds?
Because this movie doesn't understand how lasers work. It's true that at one point manufactured rubies were used to create red laser light. And it's true that diamonds do have potential applications when it comes to ramen lasers. And this kind of technology might have been appealing back in the mid-90s, but you can't just feed a raw-ass diamond into a laser mechanism and expect to get some kind of pure-ass energy beam. That's not how it works. Anyway, we'll cover all of that later on.
Well, if you're familiar with Michael Crichton, you'll know what comes next.
No force on earth or heaven could get me on that island.
That's right. Corpo Karen's sweet ass is about to pack her bags and travel to the Congo, but under one condition.
Tell me you love your son.
I do.
And that's why you're sending me.
It is.
Meanwhile, Peter Elliott is a primatologist who helped invent some kind of Nintendo Power Glove thingy that allows apes to post shit on TikTok and ask for flaming hot Cheetos and whatnot.
Amy, a good gorilla.
It's inspired by an analogous real-world experience that a team of researchers had with Koko the...
Barry, don't try to hit us with that Koko the gorilla bullshit.
What's the problem? There really was a gorilla named Koko, and she learned American Sign Language and...
That shit got debunked like a million years ago. Koko's trainers were guilty of some heavy confirmation bias.
It's true. For the most part, Koko was button mashing a bunch of sign language gibberish, and the trainers were reading into it like Jim fucking Carrey in that math movie.
I mean, mean, Koko was still pretty awesome. Just ask Robin Williams' nipples.
She reaches out and grabs both my nipples. And when an 800-pound gorilla's got you by the tits, you listen.
Oh, get you some, Robin Williams. Bovan's about to get jealous over here.
Up yours, Patch Adams. Those should have been my nipples. Anyway, you vile peasants, our incompetent video editor Ellis left a link in the description for a YouTube video about Koko. Even he knows the Koko story was bogus, Barry, and he's an illiterate hick.
You know Ellis is one of those pancake Earth guys?
No, it's worse than that. Ellis is a toroid earther.
He thinks it's shaped like a donut?
Plus, he's racist against Norwegians.
Okay, so Peter wants to return his platonic gorilla life mate Amy to the Congo, where she was born. Amy's been having lucid dreams about her gorilla past, and she's been painting this mysterious image. Then we got this Himmiker Schlimmer guy, played by Tim Curry. He claims to be some kind of Romanian benefactor, but we know right away he can't be trusted. Yeah, so there's a good bit of drama or whatever, and we end up in Central Africa. And don't fret, because the film offers a very nuanced perspective on the somewhat volatile political climate. And we've got the slimy, rat-like jabroni guy from The Matrix to guide us along.
You want to sell that gorilla?
No, I do not.
Worth a lot of money.
How much?
Listen, let's get down to brass tacks here. How much for the ape?
After a lot of bribery, the film tries to force a reference to Franz Kafka.
This is pure Kafka.
Which I guess is a pretty popular thing to do.
That would be the final nightmare. Kafka on wheels.
Even in more contemporary movies and TV shows.
Sounds kind of Kafka-esque.
And I'll admit the Kafka gag they pull in Congo is sort of funny.
Who's Kafka? Tell me!
Anyway, we make it to this Captain Wanta guy, who's feeling very generous with his cake.
Have some.
Oh, free cake from a powerful black man. This is Barry's favorite moment in the whole movie.
Oh!
Bang-a-rack.
Shut up, little shit-ass. But he's not so generous when it comes to the hernia guy.
Stop eating my sesame cake!
And we just gotta say the Captain Wanta character rules.
That sesame cake line fucking slaps. Let's hear from the actor, Delroy Lindo.
I'm fairly certain that it was scripted. You know, your word is iconic. It's become a thing. I'm clear it's become a thing.
So, Wanta reveals that Honecker is just as corrupt as we all expected.
This fellow is a big bag of shit.
Jesus, Throaterboat Christ. We forgot to mention Captain Monroe Kelly, played by Big Ernie Hudson. Believe it or not, this role was originally slated for Sean Connery, who eventually dipped out because he had just done A Good Man in Africa, and he said he wanted to take a break from black people. But, goddamn. Did he really say that, Ellis, or you just trying to make me look like an asshole? Anyway, Ernie Hudson fucking rocks as Monroe, and it's pretty stupid that this guy hasn't appeared in more movies. He's a stud.
Yeah, why didn't he get more roles?
Yeah, why didn't he get more roles?
Well, I mean, I can say maybe what I might
Are we
think
thinking? I think we're thinking the same word.
Uh-huh.
But
doesn't start with an R?
The R word? You telling me Ernie Hudson didn't get more roles because he's retarded?
Ah, fuck my face.
No, Bovan, you mothballed, batshitting old Gasper. That's not what they're talking about.
Yeah, okay. Let's move on before we piss off all the Jan Sixers in our audience. We all agree that Ernie Hudson's performance really rocks our hammock, even if there are some awkward moments.
Shut up, you filthy wart.
Oh, well, pump the
Whoa,
brakes
take
there,
it down,
kid.
Bad clown.
Jesus, Tim Curry almost went full Kramer at the Laugh Factory.
Like I said, this movie does get a little dicey.
I'm your great white hunter for this trip, though I happen to be black.
I'm black. I should have luggage on my head.
What the Christ?
But Monroe knows that Hellmonger is a grifter, and what he really wants is to lead an expedition to the lost city of Zinj, which is supposed to be a mining area rich in diamonds.
I don't know, this whole thread sounds pretty fucking dumb, Barry.
Well, I think maybe Hall Michael would seem more trustworthy if he wasn't constantly doing his Pennywise face.
Don't you want it? Don't you want it? Don't you want it?
Anyway, the Congo region is pretty war-torn, And since Spirit Airlines charges you extra to land the goddamn plane, everybody decides they'd rather just jump for it. At one point, there's an opportunity for legitimate cultural exchange between the Americans and the Africans. But apartheid Peter here insists that the camp Spotify playlist gotta be all whitey white.
California, California. Yeah, there's a whole deleted scene where they sing Mumford and Sons for like 9.5 minutes, but we're skipping it.
One of the coolest scenes in the movie is this bit where they try to cross a water body that's definitely not inside a film studio. It turns out that these murky waters are inhabited by big-ass deadly animatronic hippos.
Yeah, well, it's a little-known fact that hippos are actually responsible for more human fatalities than...
Everybody already knows hippos kill a shitload of people. That's why they're awesome.
You ever been humped by a hippopotamus, Barry?
Move on. Eat my ass.
Well, you've been humped by every other animal in the book. And you do look kind of like a sad hippopotamus who's not respected by the other hippos and never gets any hippo pussy.
Nah, Bovine, you gotta think through the insults. A hippopotamus is actually pretty intimidating, which means you're giving Barry too much credit. It's far more effective to liken him to a big, unhealthy hog.
You can just edit this part out, Ellis. You low-life shit-ass. People, I am trying to run a respectable operation here, and I'm done taking lip off these goddamn NPCs.
So along the way to the site of Bruce Campbell's disappearance, Amy encounters a clutch of fellow gorillas, and it's actually a pretty cool moment.
Hi, Amy.
There's also a spicy little encounter with this fictional indigenous group. And although I find the dancing very arousing, this thread offers very little in terms of cultural insights or additional complications.
And as you might expect, once Jungle Karen and company do make it to the research site, things look pretty ominous.
We are watching you.
It's not long before we learn the chillin'-ass secret about this lost city.
What? It was an African sweatshop that produced crappy-looking gorilla costumes for affluent Americans?
Those gray apes do look pretty weak.
I know. And this is a tough one for poor old Barry, because I'm usually running my fat mouth about how much better practical effects are. But in this case...
They look like that janky-ass candy monster from the Halloween episode of Tales from the Dark Side.
Trick or treat.
I think they look more like the old fucking man. Anyway, I blame the set design and the lighting. Movie monsters never look good when you put them directly in frame like this.
Is that why they shot this part all funky?
Probably. Anyway, it turns out that these hyper-aggressive apes were bred intentionally to protect the city of Zinj from diamond thieves.
They bred them to violence.
Guard dogs. And they turned on their masters.
Yeah, that's a pretty stupid idea. Almost as bad as breeding raptors to work in the military.
Look, nature gave us the most effective killing machines 75 million years ago.
Hey, I think they designed a line of toys about that back in the 80s. But Barry was probably too poor to have any.
So our heroes are forced to spend the night behind enemy confines. Fortunately, high-tech Karen has come up with a defensive perimeter, and this scene is actually pretty fucking badass.
That's bad as shit.
Well, boil my balls.
No, this scene offers a number of pretty obvious parallels to other Michael Crichton projects like Jurassic Park. Many of his stories fixate on the idea of human beings trying to assert control over chaotic circumstances and/or the natural world. Invariably, this proves to be a futile undertaking, much like the big-brained raptors from Jurassic Park.
Extreme intelligence, even problem-solving intelligence.
The gray apes understand how to push the limits of Jungle Karen's defenses.
They're testing their perimeter.
The fences are electrified, though, right?
That's right, but they never attack the same place twice.
And it's pretty obvious that they're smarty smart.
I'd say they're smart. They're too damn smart.
Later on, Timothy Chalamet's character tries to steal a shitload of forbidden Herkimer quartz crystals. I mean diamonds. And you'll never guess what happens to not-so-tiny Tim.
Meanwhile, Jungle Karen discovers the remains of poor Bruce Campbell.
I just slimed my pants.
Jesus Christ, what happened? Did the studio lose their fucking budget during this scene? Man, I've seen more convincing mannequins in Barry's bedroom.
God damn it, be quiet. But like any true Karen, our doctor lady really knows how to escalate a situation.
Barry, I for one don't give a dirty baboon shit about the logistics. All I know is this diamond laser thing is fucking awesome. That is one piping hot laser, Karen.
Sweet dirty Christ, you're right. Fuck the logistics. We got a rumble in the jungle.
Yeah, plus the volcano's throwing hot, thick ropes.
Yeah, and believe it or not, most of this lava was accomplished with practical effects. See, they poured this toxic metal sludge down a chute and then hyped up the colors using Microsoft Paint. Now, in the novel, it's suggested that the killer apes have been tainted with some degree of human DNA, which helps explain why they're such aggressive, hot-headed dumb shits.
He's reaching for those grapes.
Grape?
He's trying to make his wine, and the wine's already sounding
What?
like a violin with that cheese and wine.
So the apes have been indulging in power slap, and they're extremely violent due to chronic brain injuries. It all makes sense now.
Well, they're definitely not too bright. Look at these silly assholes doing cannonballs into the deadly lava.
And at this point, the movie starts to resemble another toy product I could never afford to have.
Then Volcano Karen sublimates into Revenge Karen, who sabotages her evil corpo boss by scorching the piss out of his fancy satellites.
Our surviving cast members escape in a hot air balloon, and everybody's laughing it up and forgetting that their friends just got dismembered by a bunch of mutant apes. Oh, and Amy breaks up with Peter because she can't stand his stupid-ass haircut. She's gonna live with the apes. Now, this movie's ending has always...
And break!
Time to get paid!
Okay, shitheads. Today's episode is endorsed by one of our most ardent supporters, and if you don't buy their slop, they'll be at risk of becoming even more financially insolvent than they already are. So do the right thing, you fickle cocksuckers. Say hello to the Poorhaus Toilet Booze Kit. Listen up, folks. It doesn't really matter if you're a Republican or a Democrat or one of those disgusting enlightened centrists. These are just simplistic categories we like to use in order to collapse all semblance of human variance and complexity. The important thing to remember is that at the end of the day, your life is a rigged carnival game. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You think I don't know? Sometimes at the margins of consciousness, just before you fall asleep, you'd swear you can hear faint laughter in the dark. Whose laughter? Maybe it's God's? Maybe the devil's? Has your own psyche turned against itself like some sort of many-headed beast? Listen, you can blame whomever you like, but the fact remains. You can't win, and you never will. Sure, maybe you're not as broke and pathetic as Barry's stinking ass, but you're not doing all that great, are you? Not like you'd hoped. Not like some of those people you went to high school with. You can trust old Bovan. I know you, asshole. I've seen the analytics.
If y'all don't shut up, I'm gonna go out of my mind.
Hey, tell them about all the different kinds of booze they can make, asswipe.
Piss off, Barry. Now listen, folks. It follows that you need to drink a little poison to get through the day. Just a little lubrication to keep the raw bones of life's countless tragedies and disappointments from grinding together. We all deserve that much, don't we? Friends, this wonderful product is for all of us. Regardless of creed, regardless of whether you're interested in bland-ass human beings or you prefer alluring and exotic animals. Men and women, boomers and doomers, the Poorhaus Toilet Booze Kit will allow your kids to learn all kinds of chemistry facts about ethanol. And let's face it, they gotta learn how to hold their liquor. Start them early, I say. We all need to feed the monkey, and now you won't have to pay those exorbitant liquor store prices.
Tell them about the authentic copper pipes, you dipshit.
Quiet, Barry. Let me cook. Anyway, of course our friends at Poorhaus could have designed their distillery in such a way that it doesn't require a toilet. I mean, yeah, you could even buy the deluxe version. But why?
Yeah, we've tried buying the good stuff for Barry, but he always just pours it into the toilet and drinks it from there.
Okay, now buy this thing, you cheap pricks. Buy this thing so that we here at Bankrupt Barry can fill our trough with hobo casserole for one more week. Buy this thing and become the hero of your entire stupid family.
We don't got no goddamn van! Get the fuck out of my house now!
Okay, the promo code is FLOWIN.
Where's the booze?
Flowing like mud around here.
Game on! Okay, so in terms of legacy, I guess you could say Congo is no Jurassic Park. Aside from Big Ernie Hudson and, well, arguably Amy, the animatronic ape, the characters are pretty flat and forgettable. Peter mostly comes off as a frowny granola boy who needs a haircut. And the vast talents of Tim Curry seem kind of squandered on this Horkheimer dipshit. I guess I'd like to see him be presented as more evil or less evil or something different. I mean, most of the movie tries to set him up as a crank, but then it turns out that he's actually correct about the lost city of Zinj. And then immediately he just goes the way of Elsa from the third Indiana Jones movie.
I can reach it.
I mean, what's the goddamn point? We're told he's an evil profiteer all throughout the movie, and the only surprise is that he was right about the diamonds. It's a similar situation with the evil corpo boss guy. He's ham-fistedly evil throughout.
He was killed.
Did you get the diamond? Did you?
By contrast, one of the more brilliant choices that Spielberg made while adapting Jurassic Park for the big screen was to reshape the John Hammond character into a friendly, disarming old shitbird. In the novel, he's a one-dimensional asswipe, but in the film, he's far more interesting because his intentions are complicated.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Sure, most of his motivation is still ego-driven, but there's also a part of him that simply wants to share his object of fascination with the public.
I wanted to show them something that wasn't an illusion. Something that was real.
And in Uncle Barry's shit-ass opinion, that angle's more true to life than that of the mustache-twirling corpo villain. Virtually all of the asswipes who are now hard at work ruining the world think of themselves as the hero within their own deranged manifestation of the hero's journey.
Yeah, well, I like the R.B. Travis character from Congo. I think it's okay for a greedy character to be greedy. So what do you think of that? You frog-faced sack of shit?
I think if you keep calling me a frog, I'm gonna lash out at you with my long, sticky tongue. Shit-ass.
Hey, watch it, Barry. That one was close.
Anyway, much like John Hammond, plenty of powerful people are out there curb-stomping reality with intentions that they themselves would claim are good. And that's what makes a character like Hammond complex and interesting. That's just one example of why a film like Jurassic Park shines while Congo is mostly forgotten.
Well, another reason is these shitty-looking gray apes. I expected to be far more aroused, but according to the bovometer, this movie...
No, goddammit, we are not doing a bovometer bit. I gotta draw the line somewhere, shitheads.
Yeah, well, part of the blame should fall on the set design. Everybody knows that if you're doing scary monsters, they need to remain partially obscured. Put them in the dark, or at least hide them behind some foliage. These poor Halloween props are out in open sunlight, and that ain't scary.
There, that's right. And Stan Winston feuded with the rest of production over that very point. Unfortunately, he lost. As for the overall concept, Crichton's vision for Congo hails from that long tradition of adventure novels and imperialist travelogues about intrepid Europeans venturing into the so-called lost world. In fact, the Congo novel makes a number of not-so-subtle nods to works like Haggard's King Solomon's Mines and so on. Even the title of Crichton's second Jurassic Park novel indicates the influence of writers like Arthur Conan Doyle. And yet, Crichton is writing books like Congo at a time when the Lost World narratives are suffering their final death throes. Tell him, Al.
For better or worse, the planet has already been mapped in painstaking detail. All territories quantized and gridded. There's not a single human civilization left in pure isolation. You might find this disappointing, but there probably are no remaining lost worlds left to discover on this planet, unless you're willing to indulge in the childish fictions offered by deranged pseudoscientists. And perhaps that's why so many of our more contemporary lost world narratives set their sights on the cosmos or on alien realms. Maybe all the lost worlds on Earth have already been exploited, but for many of us, extraterrestrial worlds allow us to sort of refinance that sense of wonder. It's the thrill of potential discovery, our hopes of capturing some form of forbidden treasure. Alternately, one solution proffered by our good friend Jimmy Jim Cameron is to seek out the last earthly lost worlds as they exist in the ocean at great depths and mythical pressures. In any case, the sort of lost world presented to us in Congo ultimately feels somewhat embarrassing in hindsight, cheap and prurient, something from a tabloid. And how have these experiences changed these characters in any significant way? Will they now quit their jobs and live among the ferns? Will they crusade against the soulless corporate paradigm? Each of these possibilities rings hollow.
Yeah, well said, Al, you pretentious asswipe. Okay, shitheads, that's all we got for you now. Tune in next time. We're gonna live stream Jodie Foster's colonoscopy and chug antifreeze until the hurting stops. Then we're gonna watch every episode of Twin Peaks in honor of our dear departed David Lynch.
He's dead.
Seriously, the guy was a one-of-a-kind visionary, and we salute him, and goddamn it, Ellis, don't you dare run that goddamn clip from Blue Velvet.
Up your butt, Joe Boo.
Oh, Mommy!
No!
Mommy!
Ah!
Baby wants to fuck.
I think you might actually be stupider than Bovon. Fucking Ellis.
Tread lightly, Barry. Ellis might be stupid, but he's also sort of crafty. If we're not careful, we'll all wake up in the jungle.
Shut your whiny proboscis, Fly. Ellis was 8 years old before his knuckle-dragging parents finally taught him to read using old copies of Guns and Ammo.
I bet his squirrely little ass puts ice in his beer and ketchup on his spaghetti.
He's got more varieties of hepatitis than Barry, for Christ's sake. What do you think of that, Ellis?
It's not necessary to lay a foul tongue on me, my friend. I could get upset. Things could get out of hand.
Hey now, don't piss him off.
Yeah, horse shit. Ellis ain't got the grapes to push back. Not against the likes of us.
No, shut the hell up, Bovon. I got a headache.
Slob on my cob, like corn of the knob. Bovon is my name. Fingers are my game. Let's make a bus. Let's catch a train. Squeeze on my guts. Pet all the mud.
This really rocks my hammock.
White kinky hair, please don't touch.
First, find a plate.
Hey, anybody seen Barry?
Find a sack
Who?
to hide that goat's face.
I heard he got hit by a shitnado.
You bent me right over. I ate some cheese, then came the soda.
Barry Ball.
Dino Riders.
Now, damn it, in hindsight, this idea seems pretty stupid. I mean, the dinosaurs are dangerous enough. They've got these crazy-ass lasers strapped to them.
Ah, come on, Barry. Don't be such a weak little bitch.
Yeah, Barry. Time to sack up.
Dinosaurs with lasers? This is fucking awesome!
Let's try out the artillery, you bunch of weak little pussy dribblings.
No, that's a terrible idea. As a matter of fact, everyone please make sure you don't come close to turning off your safety. It's very important that...
Bovon.
Marco!
Shania!
Barry!
Slob on my cob, like corn of the knob. Bovon is my name. Fingers are my game. Let's make a bus. Let's catch a train. Squeeze on my guts. Pet all the mutts. The white kinky hair, please don't touch. First, find a plate. Second, find a vase. Third, find a sack to hide that goat's face. Real name, Rover. She bent me right over. I ate some cheese, then came the soda.